Today, I want to share with you 10 famous people like Sarah Balki, Walt Disney, Jeff Bezos, Steve Jobs, J.K. Rowling, Sir James Dyson, Oprah Winfrey, Nick Woodman, Vera Wang, and Sophia Ambrose. I will tell the story of victory by overcoming defeat. Let's start today's video.
Welcome to our channel. Have you ever felt so troubled that you didn't want to get out of bed? Sometimes everything falls apart at the same time, leaving you unsure of what to do next. But if you are currently banging your head against the wall in frustration, just know that the famous failures on this list had some bumps in the road too. And if they could figure stuff out, turn their lives around, and go on to become some of the greatest success in history, so you can. Number 1. Sarah Balki. Important to be willing to make mistakes. The worst things that can happen is you become memorable. Sarah Balki. Billionaire Sarah Balki was encouraged to fail by her father growing up. Every week during supper, her father would ask, "What have you failed at this week?" So while she's one of the famous failures, she never let her failure stand in her way, because to Sarah Balki, failure just meant that you were trying. While selling fax machines, Balki realized that the undergarment she needed didn't exist, so she cut out holes at the feet of her penthouse, which sparked the idea for a new product. She ended up shopping her idea to several manufacturers who thought her idea was crazy. They refused to create her product, but Balki kept searching until one day her luck changed. A manufacturer would reject her, had told the idea to his daughters, would told him that he had to create the product. That product resulted in her building a successful retail brand called Smacks. The real lesson in these famous failures is to look at failure as something that forces you to keep trying. Number 2. Walt Disney. All our dreams can come true if we have the courage to pursue them. Walt Disney. You can't think about Disney without thinking about the magic it brings into the world. But sometimes creating even the most magical things has its setbacks. Walt Disney was one of the world's most famous failures. According to the Wisdom of Oz, when Disney was only 22 years old, he was fired from his job at a newspaper by an editor who said he lacked imagination and had no good ideas. After getting fired, he acquired Laugh-O-Gram, his first animation studio, which eventually went bankrupt with only $40 in his pocket. He set out to Los Angeles only to realize that Hollywood didn't have any animation studios. This eventually led to the creator of Mickey Mouse, and the rest in history. Today, the Walt Disney Company is worth $95 billion and has won countless awards. Despite his death in 1966, Walt Disney legacy continues to live on. This famous failure teaches us that despite the failure you experience in life, your creation can continue to be a roaring success long after you're gone. Number 3. Jeff Bezos. We have had their big ideas at Amazon that we have stuck with for 18 years. And they are the reason we are successful. Put the customer first, event, and be patient. He may be the world's richest man today, but Jeff Bezos has said that he also made billions of dollars of failures. Prior to building Amazon, he built a company called Jet Shops, which eventually sprung the idea for Amazon Marketplace. But even at Amazon, he created countless failed projects. Remember the fire phones. However, we just believe in creating a culture at Amazon that embraces failure. He doesn't believe in creating the same products as everyone else, and so being innovative had led to some failures. Today, Jeff Bezos is worth 150 billion. Amazon continues to grow into an even bigger and more popular e-commerce website. It's arguably the biggest online store in the world, with Alibaba fighting for the top spot. In 2017, Amazon made 177 billion in revenue. The moral of the story in this famous failure is that innovation will lead to failure. Anyone can create the same product their competitors create. However, to really gain a competitor edge on someone, you need to put a different spin on exciting product in the market to be different enough to stand out in a crowded marketplace. Number 4, Steve Jobs. Your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life. Don't be trapped by dogma, which is living with the result of other people's thinking. Don't let the noise of other opinions drown out your own inner voice. And most important, have the courage to follow your heart and intuition. Steve Jobs. Believe it or not, getting fired has sprung some of the greatest success in history. The most famous failure is Steve Jobs getting fired from the company he created after an altercation with his board of directors at Apple. Jobs said that the firing helped him enter a creative period, resulting in the acquisition of animation studio Pixar. In 1997, Jobs was hired back at Apple. He had go on the event some of the greatest technologists at the company, such as the iPod, MacBook, iPad, Power Adapter, and of course the iPhone. And Pixar was acquired by Disney for $7 billion in 2006. When Jobs died in 2011, his net worth has an estimated $10 billion. Not too shabby for a guy who has fired from his own company. His famous failure teaches you that sometimes painful setbacks help you learn new skills, get new experience, and being a different chapter in life. And it also shows you that just because you move toward another direction, it doesn't mean you can't go back. Number 5, J.K. Rowling. It is impossible to live without failing at some times, unless you live so costly that you might as well not have lived at all, in which case you have failed by default. J.K. Rowling. It's hard to believe, but J.K. Rowling, the author and creator of Harry Potter, has enough failure under her belt to make it onto his list of famous failures. Before Harry Potter was ever published, Rowling on a welfare while unemployed and divorced. It was during this time that she joined down the idea of Harry Potter on a napkin, but she needed to bring her idea to life. So she wrote her first Harry Potter book, and it was rejected by 12 publishers. Despite the rejection, J.K. Rowling went on to publish that book and 6 more after that. She is the 9th best-selling fiction author, selling over 500 million copies of her books. The entire Harry Potter franchise alone is worth $25 billion. Her books have been turned into movies. Her characters have been added to merchandise. Today her net worth is believed to be around $615 million. The greatest lesson in this famous failure is to execute on your ideas. Lot of people scribble ideas into journal of napkins, but they never do anything about it. Rowling did something about it. Number 6, Sir James Dyson. There's nothing wrong with things talking time. James Dyson. Sir James Dyson is one of the greatest inventors this generation, and as an inventor, he wanted to create a vacuum design and that didn't require bags, which was some things no one even considers doing at that time. It took 5,126 vacuum designs until he finally created a vacuum that worked. He tried selling his vacuum to manufacturers and was rejected. In 2017, the Dyson brand made over $1 billion. And Sir James, he is comfortably sitting on the billionaire list with a net worth of over 10 billion USD. Famous fellows like this one show that the secret to success is constant creation. By constantly creating different design, you inch closer to creating something truly innovative, valuable and needed in the marketplace. The more you experience, the more you grow. Number 7. Oprah Winfrey. Think like a queen. A queen is not afraid to fail. Failure is another stepping stone to greatness. Oprah Winfrey may be one of the biggest sensations today. However, she had a pretty rock start, with a rock childhood that resulted in a teen pregnancy and subsequent miscarriage. Oprah learned to persevere at a young age. She eventually landed a television gig in Baltimore, where a producer told her that she was unfit for television news. However, the same producer went on to offer her a role in another television show called People Are Talking. That show ended up becoming a huge success. This eventually led to Oprah become the host of her own show, which aired for 25 years. And today she owns her own television network called OWN. Her net worth is estimated at $4 billion, putting her on the list of the top 500 richest people in the world. Famous fellows like Oprah teach you that it doesn't matter where you start, as long as you work hard and don't give up, you can continue to achieving bigger success. Number 8. Nick Woodman. When I have a difficult decision to make, I imagine myself as a 19 years old guy looking back on his life. I imagine what I will think about myself at that point in time, and it always make it really easy to go for it. You are only going to regret that you went out. Nick Woodman. In 1997, Nick Woodman realized he wanted to become an entrepreneur. However, despite his first attempt with his business like Empowerall, which sold electronics, and Funbug, which was a gaming and marketing platform, but she didn't achieve any real success with their business. So he did what most entrepreneurs do. He pursued his passions. He loved surfing and traveling. So he decided to embark on a surfing tour. This tour helped him realize that there wasn't anything on this market that allowed him to take surfing videos while he surfed, and GoPro was born. Today, Woodman has an estimated net worth of $990 billion. He sold over 30 million of his cameras worldwide. He credited his success with GoPro to his two earlier failed ventures, as it reminded him that he needed to work even harder to make it a success. This famous fellow shows that inspire can strike at any time. If you are destined to achieve greatness, it will come to you when you are not thinking about it. It also shows that the greatest success comes from solving problems no one has thought to solve before. Number 9. Vera Wang. Success isn't about the end result. It's about what you learn along the way. Vera Wang. Vera Wang's earlier career started out like many others. She worked a full-time job at someone else's company. She spent 15 years working her way up at Bogos. However, after repeatedly getting rejected for the editor of chief position, she realized that her career at Bogos just wouldn't go any further. This led to her becoming a fashion designer and building a name for herself in the wedding-gown industry. Today, Vera Wang's dresses have been worn by countless celebrities like Kim and Cole, Mariah, Kelly, Jennifer, and more. Her company makes more than $343 million in revenue each year and employs near 200 people. Her net worth is estimated to be $400 $20 million. Famous failure like Vera Wang's teach you to correlations. First, that you can build up a wealth of knowledge while working a 9 to 5 job that you can apply to your future business. And second, that you need to know when to pivot. By realizing she wasn't going to get the editor-in-chief role, she opened up the possibility of taking on an opportunity much greater than Bogo could ever offer. Number 10. Sophia Ambrose. Everyone is told to go to high school and get good grades and go to college and get good grades and then get a job and then get a better job. There's no one really thinks a story about how they totally below it and they figure it out. Sophia Ambrose. Failure doesn't only happen before you achieve to succeed. It happens throughout your career. Sophia Ambrose is no stranger to public failure. Her online store, Nestle Girl, started out as an eBay store. Despite her roaring success on eBay, her account was eventually suspended, leading her to the creation of her own online store. Nestle Girl became one of the fastest growing online stores, growing to over $100 million in revenue and employing about 315 people. Unfortunately, not all famous failures have a happy ending. In Ambrose's case, her business declared bank in 2016. Netflix even created an entire series loosely based on her life called Girl Boss, which was cancelled after one season. However, despite all these failures, Ambrose is still only 34 years old, so a comeback can still be underway. Famous failure like Ambrose show that the balance of success and failure are the ultimate entrepreneurial journey. There is a wave of failure throughout the span of your career, and when it happens, all you can do is learn from it and move forward. Conclusion. The biggest lesson this famous failure show is that everyone experiences failure. Whether you are currently experiencing some major setbacks or on track to skyrocketing success, your journey will be filled with up and down along the way. By repositioning how you view failure, you will find it easier to overcome obstacles to achieving even greater success. Thanks for watching this video. Subscribe to our channel. Thank you.